stand at heat.
Information, gut. Information, sichern. Das Gewehr, für. Achtung, jetzt das Gewehr. Zumeldung, Augen, hey!
General salute. Present. Hoops. Shoulder. Hoops.
Please be seated.
Parade. Stand at heat.
Commander, Allied Joint Force Command Brunssum, General Hans-Lothar Domröse will now address the parade.
Soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, civilian members of our wonderful headquarters, thank you for this wonderful parade. What I had to say to you, I told you last week. Today, I will address the other guests. I'm really delighted to see so many of you here today. Ambassadors, Excellencies, General Breedlove, dear fellow colleagues, admirals, air marshals, and colleagues from across NATO. Thank you for joining Salvatore and me for our change of command ceremony this afternoon. I'm truly humbled to see so many of you here to share this day with us, particularly given the distances that some people have traveled with guests from as far as Canada. Where's my friend Nino? Nino, Red Devils. Thank you very much for joining us. That is quite something. I warmly welcome you here today. It is, of course, with a mixture of sadness and excitement that I stand here before you. Sadness at the prospect of handing over command of this wonderful headquarters and bringing to an end my military career of more than 40 years. But excitement too at this prospect of starting my second life as a retired general together with my lovely wife, Christina. As I prepare to step down, I would like to share some reflections with you. My primary focus throughout my time in command in Brunssum has been Afghanistan, and it remains a concern. Today, though, I would like to focus on the men and women from all our armed forces and pay tribute to the enormous sacrifices they have made as we are trying to bring peace and stability to that torn country. During my frequent visits to Afghanistan, most recently just last month, when I traveled to Kabul, I have seen their efforts firsthand, and it is truly humbling. General John Campbell, our friend JC, has done a wonderful job in very difficult circumstances, and I wish General Mick Nicholson all the very best for his time in command. Over the past 3 years, we have achieved much across NATO. At the 2014 Wales Summit, and in response to the resurgent threat from the East, our heads of government set out a list of deliverables for us to achieve by the time they next meet. That next meeting is in Warsaw this July, and Brunssum has played a leading role in the ongoing work to achieving those deliverables. And I'm very satisfied, sir, with the state of play. Multinational Corps Northeast and the newly established NATO force integration units are well on track to meeting the required level of ambition. And through a series of ambitious exercises in April and May, we will have demonstrated a very high readiness joint task force that is established, trained, exercised, and usable. One of the other key events during my time in command was exercise Trident Juncture. Between the end of September and early November last year, the biggest NATO exercise in over a decade took place in Italy. Thank you to the Italian doc for joining us this afternoon. In Italy and the Iberian Peninsula. Some 35,000 personnel from 27 NATO nations and 5 partner nations took part. Such an undertaking could only take place with the full commitment of the whole NATO family, from Allied command transformation and its subordinate commands, to the single service commands and the participating nations. This was an enormous challenge, but it showcased NATO at its very best, and it demonstrated to the world that NATO is here and NATO is capable. I'm immensely proud of what Brunssum has achieved over the past 3 years, culminating last December with our declaration of full operational capability. As one of the true bastions of jointness, together with Admiral Mark from Naples, it is for us, the joint headquarters, to bring together the air, the land, the special forces, and maritime domains under one umbrella. That we have done this is testimony to the hard work and professionalism of all men and women who work in this wonderful headquarters. Thank you to your work. I'm just the figurehead. They are the people. They are the people who make it happen. Finally, it remains for me to thank you all. I thank you, Sacre, for your leadership and guidance, your wise words of advice and constant encouragement. And I truly thank you that you join me in this infantry weather. And I thank my team, both past and present, but especially my two deacons, Graham Stacy and Fernando, my three crosses, Richard Tistens, Mishka, and Janusz, for your hard work, your friendship, and your great support to me throughout my time in command. Now, after 43 years and something in the armed forces, I know well that command at any rank is a privilege, and I'm honored to have been the commanding general of this headquarters. I now will support you, Salvatore, as you have me, and I wish you every success for the future. Together, we have done great things, and together, I know you will continue to do so. Thank you.
Mrs. Domröse will be presented with a dozen red roses in full bloom. They symbolize the color of the heart for the care and concern given the command and the beauty and fulfillment of the time spent here. Mrs. Farina will be presented with a dozen yellow roses in bud, a sign of welcome and anticipation of things to come.
of flag officers, men and women of Joint Force Command Brunssum. You honor us by your attendance at this change of command ceremony today, and we can all be out here to enjoy Hans-Lothar's wedding. Although he talks like an infantryman, I think he came into the service as a mechanized infantryman, so he was riding rather than walking. In a few moments, we will pass the organizational flag, which symbolizes the change of command from one distinguished and proven leader to another. But I first want to recognize that this flag represents you, the men and women in uniform, and those who support you, and your hard work and many successes. I want to add my thanks to those of General Domröse for what you do, Hans-Lothar, my friend. You have rightly paid tribute to the others, but I would like to take this opportunity to pay tribute to you. You have given over 40 years of amazing service to your country. But today, forgive me if I just focus on what you have done for NATO. Your NATO service is deep, and it is distinguished. Section Chief at NATO headquarters, Chief of Staff of the Multinational Brigade in KFOR, Chief of Staff, ISAF, Commander of your Corps, German Rep at NATO headquarters, and now Commander of Joint Force Command Brunssum. There are many aspects of your service to NATO which I could highlight. In particular, what you talked about as commander of these fine men and women, but I want to thank you for two things. First, your leadership during the most significant transition that our alliance has seen in its history. I say this recognizing that in the audience are a number of former commanders of this organization and its subordinate commands, whose experience covers, I think, more than 30 years. And they face many significant challenges too. But the difference in the strategic security context between when you, Hans-Lothar, assumed your command and the situation we face now is hard to overstate. For the last 20 years, we gradually evolved our capabilities and structures in response to a situation in which Russia was a partner and threats were relatively distant. Since 2014, we have had to rapidly adjust to a radically different context where we face challenges to our values and principles from both the East and the South. As NATO responded to these challenges, while at the same time going through major changes as you discussed in Afghanistan, I was genuinely grateful for the professionalism and leadership that you showed in your command. The second thing that I want to thank you for is not so much what you did, but how you did it. These words will never really reach what we need to say, but I'm going to use them anyway. Energy, like the Energizer Bunny, I think. Enthusiasm, determination, and I think the most important word to describe you is passion. Passion. These have been the hallmarks of your leadership. Through difficult days, your approach was inspiring and often refreshing. It's an American phrase, Hans-Lothar, but I think it's appropriate to use it here. I call you a force of nature. For you, Hans-Lothar, this is not just the end of your command, but the end of an impressive 43-year career. So as we look forward, I wish you and Christina every success in your life after the military. You both richly deserve it. And now we welcome a new, powerful force, a new leader. And we welcome her with warm arms. Gianna, welcome. Welcome to Brunssum. And to you, Salvatore. I remain impressed with our first work together. I mentioned this to you earlier today. You were a magnificent leader of KFOR. I had absolute trust and confidence in you, and you started some big changes there. And I could not be more happy for you to be here now in this very important command. You are the right person for this job, with the right background and the right experience. Congratulations on your appointment as Commander of Joint Forces Command Brunssum. I say again, it is really good to have you on this team. To all of you here today, individuals and commanders, they come and go, but the team remains, and our values and principles remain. What you do is vitally important, and I know that you will continue your great contributions under this new magnificent leader that we bring today. Thank you. Thank you for standing in this infantry weather. Thank you for your attention. And now I need to get out of the way so we can get on with the main thing. Thank you.
Color party, form up! Shoulder, hook!
Kameraden, aus! Das Gewehr, über! Gewehr, ab! Information, hören!
Hooray! Stand at heat!
Please be seated. The commander, Allied Joint Force Command Brunssum, General Salvatore Farina, will now address the parade.
Ladies and gentlemen, civil military authorities, men and women of the headquarters of JFC Brunssum, good afternoon to you all. Being just the new commander, I won't say much, but please allow me to express my personal feeling, my sentiment in this particular moment. And first, I am very honored to be the new commander of this prestigious headquarters. And for this, I am very grateful to my chain of command, General Graziano, and to the NATO chain of command, General Pilot, who have selected and designated me for this important post. But more importantly, I feel very high the responsibility on my shoulder, and I will be doing all my best and put all my best energy to fulfill my new mission. The second sentiment is just to tell you that I am very fortunate because I have, as a predecessor, General Hans-Lothar Domröse, who, with his tremendous leadership, achieved so many results in just a little time and paved the way for further successes in the future. Hans-Lothar, thank you so much, and be sure, and all of you be sure, that my line of command will follow, will go astride of the track already traced by General Domröse. I have to tell you that I'm also lucky to have such a qualified staff, and thank you in advance for the support that you will be giving me all the time. Finally, I would like to conclude by paying tribute to the NATO men and women that sacrificed their life accomplishing the mission of our alliance. And let me also send an ideal salute to all the men and women that today are operating in Afghanistan, Kosovo, and the other NATO commitment. And ideally, I will salute also all the men and women working, operating the NATO common structure, NATO force structure, and with their daily work, they are fulfilling the NATO mission that is to bring peace and security in the Euro-Atlantic area and beyond. Thank you so much. God bless us, and long life to NATO. Thank you all.
Information, Sichtstand, das Gewehr, für. Achtung, Festgestand, wer?
Captain. Hut!
Information. Sichern. Das Gewehr. Für. Achtung. Fest das. Ja. So, Mello. Okay. Hey.
General salute. Present. Hut! Shoulder. Hut!
Aufladen. Auf. Das Gewehr. Für. Gewehr. Ab. Information. Hören.
Color party. Fall out. Parade to your color party. Present. Hut!
Information. Sichern. Das Gewehr. Für. Achtung.